Hello my beautiful bookish friends and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my first book haul of the year. We are in the 6th month of the year and I just now have accumulated enough books that I feel like this could be an interesting haul for everybody. I have been very good about how many books I've been buying, what I've been borrowing from the library, what I've been getting on my Kindle, and what I've just been like really feeling I need in my life versus like I can give it a try whenever. I have been keeping up on new releases, but I've also been trying to finish series, get caught up on series, so I haven't bought too much, but I have bought some. So let's talk about what I got. I'm going month by month, so we'll start with January. The first book I got is Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. I recently finished her Ren Fair series and really loved all 4 books, so I decided I wanted to try one of her other ones. This is a house renovation romance. There's like a haunted seaside town. I think there's like a ghost investigation kind of happening along with a TV show, so it has a bunch of different elements that I think are really fun and unique. I've enjoyed all the house renovation romances I've read in the past, so I think this one will be cute. I like that there's like little ghosts involved as well, and I don't think this is a series. I think this is a standalone, and it's only like 320 pages, so it's not a super long drawn out romance, which if you've been here for a hot minute, you know I love a quick little 320, 350 read. So we'll give this a shot. This may be one that I pick up next after I get caught up on some more series. In the same trip, I picked up a book that I had heard absolutely nothing about, but when I read the back, I was really intrigued. It's By Any Other Name by Erin Carter. This is a Shakespeare retelling, I believe. It is a young adult, I think, queer romance. They're working on Shakespeare's stage. So there's playwrights, there's a murder that they have to figure out, and then there's also a romance. This came out in 2023, but I never heard anything about it, so I decided to pick it up and see if I'll like it, and I think it's standalone as well. Then I picked up a graphic novel. This is Hooky Volume 1. I had actually read about this book and wrote about it when I was writing book review content for Screen Rant, and I finally was able to find the first volume. I could not find the first volume anywhere, and I actually found it. I don't remember if I got this on Pango. I feel like I might have. I think I got this on Pango, and it's in really good shape. So it's a cute story of a brother and sister who they are supposed to go to witch school. The art makes me think of like Kiki's Delivery Service. They're supposed to go to witch school, but instead they play hooky and they decide to go somewhere else, and they get into a lot of trouble with magic and mischief, and it just seems like a really sweet, cute read. What I wrote about like in regards to this one, like what list it was on, but I remember I thought it was really cute and I put it on my TBR. So there is that. My book of the month pick in January was The House of My Mother, which is Sherry Frankie's memoir. Her mom is Ruby Frankie, who, if you live on YouTube or you're online, you know, has been arrested for child neglect and abuse and several other things. This book I actually listened to already was very, obviously like trigger warnings abound for so many things, but it shed a lot more light on the case. I've been kind of following along with what's going on since people started expressing concern, and then when the arrest broke. So it talks a lot about Sherry's experience being exiled from the family and knowing things were going on, but not knowing how bad it had gotten after she left, and about Jody Hildebrandt and how their relationship was very like toxic and manipulative and horrible, and you know, the like nuances of her still having a relationship with her dad even though he kind of was exiled as well. Like there's so many layers to it, but hearing it come from her own voice was very interesting and very, very sad because of all the things that happened to her. Sherry still seems like she's a little kid, even though she's, I believe, graduated college at this point. You can tell the way she was stunted because of her mother. So I highly recommend to anybody who likes memoirs It's not super long, and it sheds a lot of light on the toxicities that can happen with like family vloggers. On to February, I definitely did more book shopping in February because there were a lot of new releases that I really wanted to get my hands on. One of which did come out in January, but this is Bemused. This is all about the muses from Hercules. I love Hercules. That was my favorite animated Disney movie of all time, and I love the muses' songs. I've always thought that they were the coolest part of the movie. So this is a story about how, like, who they were before they narrated Hercules' story. Like, it's their own story, and it's not super long. And Hades is on the back, which makes me think that maybe Hades was more involved in their story, and that's why they know the gospel truth kind of things. So I'm interested in this. I really don't know much more about it other than it's about the muses, and to be honest, that's all I need to know. The next one was a romance that I was definitely waiting for. It is Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey. I just finished the Au Pair Affair, so I will be reading this one very soon. I did go to Barnes & Noble. I think this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition with the sprayed edges. It has the high heels and the skates. This one is, I know there was some controversy and drama about this one, but I don't think people read the whole synopsis, or if you don't read the Au Pair Affair, you don't get it. This is a stepbrother and stepsister romance, and I know that sounds like ill, but they did not grow up together. They are now stepbrother and sister because their adult parents are getting married and they are also adults, so they didn't meet into adulthood. But I think they meet outside of their parents, and then this kind of happens, like they find out when they meet each other, like, oh, we've already met. So it's hockey, it's spicy, obviously. There's kind of an insta-love thing going on, so we'll see if I end up liking it. This curtain is killing me with this wind. I'm so sorry. See if I end up liking it. I did like the Au Pair Affair. I will say every once in a while Tessa Bailey hits me with one that I'm like, this wasn't my favorite, so we'll see if I end up liking this or if it was just more a shock factor thing. The next one I got is one that people have been raving about. It is Ali Hazelwood, and it is Deep End. It is her swimming diver forbidden romance. I did get the edition with the like pool edges. I did get this the day after it came out because one, I was really intrigued by I love sports romances. So getting to explore different sports. I know right now F1 and hockey are kind of taking over everything, so I really wanted to read one that was different. So swimming, I don't know a lot about, but I thought it kind of, I guess, leads to like, I don't know, romance seems like it could happen with swimming. There's like a swim captain, and he's like an Olympic golden boy. And then the girl is like, they have nothing in common, basically. So she's a diver. So they're both in swimming somehow. But I've seen bits and pieces of this on TikTok, like little excerpts, and I'm very excited for this one. And I'm very interested in how Ali Hazelwood's going to pivot from her STEMinist series to this. Because I've liked everything in the STEMinist series so far. So I love her writing. It's very good. It's swoony, it's angsty, it's delightful. So we'll see if I feel the same about this one. The next one I feel like is finally getting hype and people are talking about more, and that is First Time Caller by BK Borison. I got this from Book of the Month mainly because the cover is so cute. But I am a radio person. I took a lot of radio classes in college. It was my favorite part of school, learning how to do all of that and like edit sound. It's something I still enjoy doing. So when I saw this is about like a calling into like a love line sort of story, I was in. There is a single mom trope in here, but there's also like a lavender relationship that was part of that in here. So I am interested to see where this one goes. I will say it seems like it's gonna have a lot of layers that I'm gonna really like. BK Borison does do a lot of layers in their writing. So I'll see if I like this one as much as I think I will. And they just announced a sequel as well that is going to be blue, like it's blue and yellow, or like blue and white, or like dark blue, light blue, whatever. The cover's cute and I want it, so I better like this book. Then my friend Izzy graciously purchased me this beautiful edition of Dracula. It is the Union Square like special editions. It's cloth bound and it has the crosses on the side and then the sprayed edges and like this amazing cover with the fang spiderweb thing, and there's a coffin on the back, and there's like the synopsis is on the first page, and then there's a timeline of like Bram Stoker's life and how Dracula became like a movie. Like the timeline stops in 1931 when Bela Lugosi gets cast as Dracula, but then the rest of this is just the actual book itself. So I love it so very much. Then we have Can't Spell Treason Without T. This is a cozy fantasy steeped with love. I know nothing about it other than look at these edges. Look at these edges. Love the teal. This just sounded cute and different. I was so slumpy throughout this year. When I was buying books, I was like, I need to buy things that are different because I'm reading the same thing over and over again and I'm getting bored. So I'm not usually a big cozy person, so we're trying a cozy fantasy to see if I like it. And then I got one of the biggest books on my wish list from Pango. I got I think this is the bookish box version of The War of Two Queens, which is part of the From Blood and Ash series. I have the first three that I bought a while ago. Someone has the next one that they're selling, and I'm waiting for it to come down in price just a little bit more, so I can get it. These all come with amazing artwork on the front of Poppy and Hawk. Then these circles actually connect. Let me grab the stack. These circles connect to like tell the story on the spines as well, and then they all have their own sprayed edges. So the War of Two Queens has dragons, and there's like little dragons in little circles, and then the end papers have them. And this one, oh yeah, this one's signed. I think all of these are signed. But then if you take the dust jacket off, there is also, it's like beautifully embossed. The spine and the back also has the dragon on it. And I can't show the artwork that's on the one part of this here. But I can show you this part, like there's artwork. Yeah, there's artwork on the inside of each one. I've shown these before, but I didn't even know they were a thing until I found them on Fango. March was a very small month in terms of me buying books. For my book of the month pick, I picked an audiobook. It was Care and Feeding. I have yet to listen to it, but it is written by a former food writer in New York City, and she talks about all the different places she went to eat and all the like crazy stories that come with being a food writer and dealing with chefs and food and travel and all that kind of stuff. But then the only books I purchased physically were What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides from Barnes & Noble. These are the exclusive editions with the, in my opinion, much prettier covers. I love this color scheme so much more, but I also love the inside. The special editions have artwork of the characters, and the books have hieroglyphics on the inside. There's no artwork or anything with these, but I wanted something adventure and also kind of historical, and this seemed to be the series, and I was only gonna buy the one, but then I found out it's just a duology, so I ended up getting both books, and this is the inside of the sequel, and here are the hieroglyphics as well for Where the Library Hides, and it sounds like The Mummy but with romance, and I think it's more YA / new adult. But I, again, am trying to get things that I don't have 16 different versions of on my shelf. So I got those to try the adventure romance side of things. So into April, I definitely used my add-ons for Book of the Month because so many sequels to books I've been waiting for came out. The first one was Rebel Witch. This is book 2 in the Crimson Moth series. I read the Crimson Moth earlier this year. Very much enjoyed it, so I'm interested to see where it goes. This is the second book in the duology, so it should be the conclusion unless they decide to turn it into a trilogy, which I would be mad about because I just want a duology. But it's fine. I got this one. I have not looked into it at all because I do not want to be spoiled. But one of my most anticipated releases was in Book of the Month, and that was Scythe and Sparrow, and I've already read it and I devoured it and I loved it because I'm obsessed with the Ruinous Love trilogy. This one was Fionn and Rose's story. This is, I really like the way Bryn Weaver did this in terms of timeline, with Butcher and Blackbird starts everything off, and then Leather and Lark intertwines partway through that story, and this also intertwines partway through that story. So you go back a little bit to where Fionn meets Rose, how he meets her, how her story starts. You finally find out how she broke her leg, and then Sloane and Rowan kind of come in after their little mishap in Texas, and then it goes forward from there. So you get these little reminders of what happened throughout, so you can be like, okay, this is where we are in the story. So when it comes to the end, everybody's ending blends together, not, okay, this happened, and then a year later this happened, and then a year later this happened. It's like, no, all of these things are happening at the same time, which makes the universe even more chaotic than it already is. But I will tell you, there is a haunted house scene that is crazy. And not in like the Haunting Adeline way. It's in like a whole different Bryn Weaver special kind of way. I got the Griffin Sisters Greatest Hits. This is more of a literary fiction than I'm used to reading, but again, trying new things. This is two sisters who made music together in the early 2000s, and there was some sort of falling out. It's been 20 years. They're trying to reunite them. People are speculating why the band broke up, why they don't do music anymore, and this kind of, you know, tells the stories of the lies, the deception, the tragedy, the, I think, love triangle that's involved in here. So it sounds like there's a lot of drama, and I'm here for it. I decided to expand my occult bookshelf. I have my like deities, gods, all that kind of stuff on my bookshelves. So I got this beautiful edition of Myths, Gods, and Immortals, Medusa. It has these pretty sprayed red copper edges and these beautiful little, I like that it comes with 2 bookmarks in case you're maybe not reading it linearly or looking for something specific that you want to mark. You can do that. But I love the colors. This color scheme is fantastic. Then we got, this was absolutely my most anticipated release of the year, and I really don't care what else comes out this year. Wild and Wrangled. I love the Rebel Blue series so much, and when I found this at my indie bookstore, I wasn't even gonna buy anything, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, gotta get it. This one is, I feel like, the book we've been waiting for. This is Camille, who is the mom of the little girl that's in the book, and why can't I think of her name? She's the older brother's ex-girlfriend, and they co-parent together. And she's supposed to be getting remarried, but then Dusty, her like kind of her one that got away, is back in town, and here we are. So I am very excited. It's a second chance romance, which I haven't read in forever. It's in the Wyoming thing. Like, these books just make me want to move out west, pack all my stuff, and go, like, without any plan, and I'll figure it out when I get there. So yeah, I love this series. It's so sweet, and I feel like I started it at right place, right time, and every time I've picked up the next book, it has been exactly what I needed, like mentally. So I am gonna pick this one up sooner than later. Then I got another graphic novel that I had never heard of before, but this is by Sweeney Boo. I've seen her art before, and I very much like her art style. This is, oh hey, this was a pre-owned book, and someone put their little stamp in it. Cool. I can put mine in it now too. But Sweeney Boo, Over My Dead Body. This is a school of witchcraft. A disappearance. The coven will find her, but things seem to be going wrong. Like maybe the investigation is not really being done properly. And so, yeah, but I really love the art style in here. I like her use of color. I like the way she draws characters. She's done some like Harley Quinn art that I really like. So yeah, we're gonna give that one a go. Then I won a blind date with a book on Indie Bookstore Day. They were doing giveaways and I won a book. So I picked one. This is At the Water's Edge. It is by the author who did Water for Elephants, which I have not read. But this one is, let's see, it's a period piece, 1944. Someone's disgraced himself from high society. And there's something about the Loch Ness Monster. So I'm in. Love Nessie. And finally, we have the month of May. I got The Bombshell from Book of the Month. This takes place in 1993. And there's a Mediterranean summer stardom. I think it's like a fallen starlet kind of thing. There's like group politics. Is there a band? It's like a kidnapping, I think, involved as well, where I think it turns into Stockholm. That's why I picked this one up, because it sounded kind of crazy. So we're gonna see if I enjoy that. And then I'm so excited, Enchantra, the second book in the Phantasma series. This is the sister's story. So if you read Phantasma, the sister's name is Genevieve. So I don't know if it's the Wicked Games series. Sorry, that's the name of the series. I can't tell. The synopsis doesn't make this clear. She goes to Phantasma and then she goes to a different place and plays Enchantra. So I guess it's a different game led by a different devil. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna find out though, because once I actually got into Phantasma, I flew through it. That book was so good. It was Caraval, but with smut and like more dark horror. I loved that book. So I can't wait to get into this one. And we'll see. Like, I don't know if she's gonna do more, if it's just a duology. If it's a duology, sweet, cool, love that. If there's more, awesome, cool as well. But then I went to the Strand because I went to New York City. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. We did a whole day of just like bookstore shopping and hopping. We went to Barnes & Noble, we went to the Strand, we went to Forbidden Planet, all the ones kind of down there in Union Square. So they have an occult section, which I didn't know about until we went this last time. I definitely explored the Strand more than I ever have before. We went to the Rare Book Room. I almost bought a $250 special edition of From Blood and Ash from Illuma Crate. It was not pretty, but it is still there. I left it there. I will go back for her. But we went into the basement, which I had never done before because I never had a reason to. Usually when I was going to the Strand, I was going to pick up a new release, or I, was Barnes & Noble in there, so I, kind of split my time. But this time we went down, found the occult section in the basement, and let me just tell you, the Strand is so hot. When you walk in there, it's so hot on the first floor. The basement is hot, but not as hot, and the Rare Book Room, AC, baby, because we have to keep those rare books in pristine condition. So go to the Rare Book Room, even if you have no reason to go up there, just go look. But in the occult section, I got a little kind of starter's guide to crystals. I have a ton of crystals, but I want to know how to use them more and more of their meanings and understand how I can use them in my practice. And then I got Natural Magic. This one is Spells, Enchantments, and Personal Growth. It also has like a guide on how to make incense in here, which I buy incense from my local metaphysical shop all the time. But if I could make my own, that would be cool too. I mean, I'll still buy theirs, but I feel like I want to try it and just see. But there's also recipes for one specifically in here for different workings. So I would like to have, like, know how to use those and have them on hand for whatever I need them for. But this is not like a, oh, you have to do music this way. This is just art and music. You have to do magic this way. It's just giving you more of a, like, this is how, let's see, there's like a breakdown in here, like different gods and goddesses, different celestial influences, how beliefs have changed through the ages, like Korean Buddhism versus Celtic religions versus witchcraft versus Druidism. I've acquired 25 books this year. I've read 2 of those 25, and I've spent $233 and some change. Not bad for me for being halfway through the year. 2 years ago, I spent almost $1,000. Last year, I think I spent under $600. So we're slowly just getting lower with it. And that's the point. Now, I would like to read all of these books that I've acquired this year. But I'm still working on reading all the books that I got last year and the year before. So we're making headway, we're making progress. Watch my vlogs for progress on all of those reading goals. But for now, that is it. Let me know about new releases that are coming that you're excited about. There's a few I have on my radar, but nothing's jumping out screaming at me off the top of my head. So yeah, but that's it for me. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.